A man convinced against his opinion is of the same opinion still. In this conversation, I want us to talk about religion, and actually, as you well know, it's one of the controversial subjects that there is, and it of course it has very many things to do with how we live life and why we live life the way we live it. Personally, you may be aware that I'm one of the people that are outside that subject, or people who see it differently. And maybe to first set the record straight is that I'm not an atheist, for I believe there's an existence of the supreme being, that's God or creator, whatever you call that. And I'm not agnostic, and neither am I a pagan. For a pagan is, when you read the dictionary, defines a pagan as a person that doesn't belong to any major known religion. Now, that someone might be belonging to a cult, but if it's not known majorly by most people, then he or she is termed as a pagan. However, I'm not that. If you read what religion is in the dictionary, the religion defines a religion as an institution in which man expresses his belief in the divine power. Now, what I do away with in that definition is the institution, that I don't use any institution when I'm expressing my belief in the divine power, which implies, therefore, that I just believe in God in whatever way you understand that God as a supreme being, creator of the cosmos, through that power that is omnipotent and omnipresent everywhere. So, I'm not opposed to religion or to any particular religion, that I see it as the other way around. I want to say that I believe it's a personal journey. If one thought about it and then came to a conclusion that they do want to belong to to a certain faith, fraternity, say a Muslim, a Christian, born again, Adventist, whatsoever, I think it's a personal journey. If someone chooses to see it that way, then let it be. What I'm opposed to is the notion that a Muslim is, what I'm opposed to is the notion that one religion is right and then the other religion is wrong. If you are in this faith, then you will go to heaven, it's also rather being in this faith is the only way one can go to heaven. I think that's what I'm opposed to. I believe we are all human beings that come from the same place and we shall return to the same place. Now, that's my personal view. Secondly, the only person that maybe I'm not in agreement with is the person that doesn't come in to a consensus which says that it's a personal journey, other than making it a parent's journey or any other individual's journey or any religious leader's journey. What do I mean in this? Is that have you gone down into yourself and then ask yourself the questions as to why you're following that religion or that religious path? If you've done so, then I believe you have the reason as to why to embrace that and then leave it. But if at all you've not, and then you're just this kind of person who is just following a certain individual, a certain person, or parents, or a leader, then I think that's the person that I'm not that I'm opposed to. I believe it's a personal journey. It's a personal journey. It's an awakening that one has to come to, and then answer some fundamental questions of life, of that notion. Saying, how did I come to be into this religious phenomenon, and rather this religious fraternity, and have I ever thought about the values that are held dear, so dear, in this religious fraternity or not? So I think that if at all one answers those questions, then it makes more sense for one to cling on to that religious faith or fraternity. Otherwise, I'm a person that is open-minded, so I have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. I always want to explore stuff, and I think if you come into that place where you're willing to first let go of whatever you knew to be true, and then just went into yourself, deep down your heart, and then started to examine it, to find out, to reach to its logical conclusion of whatever you hold dear to your heart, and say, how did this come about? Why am I believing this? And when I believe this, what comes of me? do I find it true myself, not what they told me? Not because my mom is a Muslim, I'm called Fahad, so my mom is a Muslim, my dad is a Muslim. So not because those people are Muslims, but am I a Muslim because I want to be Muslim, and because I find it the only way, or the best way, or the way that's going to make the best out of me, and what I find to be true in life? I think that's what matters. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you again in our next conversation. Peace, love, and kindness be upon you. I remain humble, Fahad. Thanks for your kind attention.